Hello and welcome to Penn State Sports Night. I'm Kelly Warner here with Ryan Lam as we go over the latest in sports at Penn State and beyond. After a crazy weekend of college basketball, the Final Four is set. Two teams have qualified for their first Final Four in school history. 3-seed Texas Tech with their win over number 1 Gonzaga, and 5-seeded Auburn with their win over number 2 Kentucky. It was a weekend of upsets with number 1 Duke finally falling after already having 2 close calls so far in the tournament. The only number 1 seed to make it to the Final Four is Virginia after a last-minute buzzer beater brought them to an overtime win against Purdue. Number 2 Michigan State and number 3 Texas Tech make up the other semifinals, and those matchups are set for Saturday night.
Penn State men's tennis is on a roll. The number 37th ranked Nittany Lions have found themselves winners of 6 straight at home in the last 2 weekends. After defeating then number 16 Michigan the past weekend, Penn State found another win against a ranked opponent in number 35 Minnesota on Friday. Number 44 Constant de la Bastetière and number 116 Christian Lacoselle-Jack continued to anchor the lineup at 1 and 2, with the Frenchman defeating 47th ranked Joseph Kristanovic and Lacoselle-Jack taking out Stefan Milicevic, both in straight sets. Penn State followed up with a 6-1 victory against Wisconsin on Sunday to improve to 4-1 in the Big Ten. De la Bastetière and Ben Lieb had to fight for 3 sets, but ultimately prevailed. The Nittany Lions capped off this weekend with a 7-0 whitewash against St. Bonaventure. The program will then head on the road next week with a match against number 41 Iowa and Nebraska. In other tennis news, Roger Federer won his 101st title with a Masters win against defending champion John Isner in Miami. He was able to find an early break in set 1 to claim a 6-1 lead and finish with a 6-4 set as Isner tweaked his left ankle in the process.
The Penn State men's lacrosse team made a statement on Sunday to open up conference play by defeating number 3 Maryland 13-10 on the road. The victory advanced top-ranked Penn State to 8-1 on the season, while Maryland fell to 8-2. The Nittany Lions get little rest as they head back home to face number 4 Ohio State on Sunday at 7 p.m. in Panzer Stadium. This marks the first time the Lions will be playing on their home field since March 2nd. The game will be televised on Big Ten Network. The team then heads to Ann Arbor to play Michigan on April 13th and back home on April 21st to face number 20 Johns Hopkins.
The second stop of the Formula One season was just concluded with a Mercedes victory. Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas going 1-2 again. Charles Leclerc of Ferrari was running away with the win, but with 11 laps to go, one of his 6 cylinders failed to operate and he was letting up 4 seconds per lap to Hamilton and afterward Bottas. The 21-year-old Leclerc said his podium finish is lucky in an unlucky situation. Prior to that, Sebastian Vettel was aiming for a 1-2 finish for Ferrari when he tangled up with Lewis Hamilton, took a spin, and had to replace his whole front wing. He dropped to 5th after the extra pit stop, and Scuderia's troubles continued. Renault was another troubled constructor who saw their 2 cars stop to a halt within seconds of each other at turn 1 late in the race. Nico Hülkenberg was able to climb all the way up from 17th to 6th before bowing out due to an engine problem in the 4th last lap. And Daniel Ricciardo stopped at the same turn seconds later. His second did not finish of this year with an MG UK power unit failure. Renault praised their 2 drivers while also mentioning their reliability issues. And those are, open quote, problems we have previously encountered, but something we were unable to rectify in Bahrain, end quote. The next race will be on April 14th in Shanghai.
That's it for Penn State Sports Night. I'm Kelly Warner, and for Ryan Lam, thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching our latest edition of Penn State Sports Night. If you're a fan of our content, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more clips. Also follow us on Twitter at PSSN TV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with the action. For all my colleagues, we are Penn State Sports Night.